So, this past Monday, we had our Retreat Elevate 2025 ROP Summit, and the after effects happening, or checking in to see what's been opening up in people's lives since we had that, because I know I've had some breakthroughs and insights since that day, and also taken some actions on some of the promises that I made to work on, things that I want to accomplish and achieve and clean up in my life. And I guess a lot of it was sort of nagging things that were incomplete, or things that I didn't even know were incomplete, things that were just I've accepted as the way they are, but they're kind of annoyances in my life. So I want to clean them up and fix them. Say your name and what you do and what you're passionate about.
My name is Raylan. I am currently an associate, so I work with stylists some days, and then I'm working on Mondays, taking classes, working to, get a floor day and start building my career. What I'm passionate about. I was in a different career before this, where I worked in an office, and I was missing out on that aspect of working with people and being creative, which is what I'm passionate about. So now I'm getting to do that, and I'm very happy here. I really love my ROP family.
What's the difference in being in an office and being here for somebody who's thinking about that?
For me, I just felt like the job I was doing, so I was in credit risk analysis, and I didn't feel like I was adding value to anyone's lives. Like here, I feel like someone comes in and you have the opportunity to put a smile on their face, make them feel beautiful in their own skin. You impact someone, My office job, I don't feel like I impacted anyone.
Credit analysis risk? Or what was that?
Credit risk analysis. Yes.
Okay.
So basically I would, I worked for a company where people would want to make a purchase through them, and I would allocate like how much we would be willing to give them, like a credit line and on terms and all that. So not as fun as doing hair.
No. So what gave you the courage to make the change?
It took a lot of courage, actually. My mom is a stylist, and I was just, one day I called her on my lunch break really upset, and she tried to get me to go into hair when I was younger, and I wanted to be the first to go to college and all that. So I did that, and she's like, it's not too late. She's like, you can do anything you want. You can do this. So that day I looked into classes, or, a cosmetology school, and it turns out Lorenzo had just opened up their enrollment period, and I enrolled, and I quit my job, and I worked at a restaurant, and I made my way through school and then found my way here.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
But yeah, it was scary to do that. I was 27 at the time, so.
And you went to college?
Mm-hmm. I had a degree in business and finance, and that's what I was in. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, and I took a step back and said, I'm not going to be happy doing this forever, so now or never,
Yeah. So you did the whole thing that society says, oh, you have to go here, this path, this is the pathway to real life if you go to college. And where'd you go to school?
I went to Florida Gulf Coast.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So I think a lot of people fantasize about doing that because they see the four walls of a bank or wherever it is that they're working, and have that realization, like, is this going to be the rest of my life? And then they get stuck. Sometimes I think they get stuck in that the money's decent, there are benefits, they start to accumulate some 401k or whatever it is, and then they kind of feel like they're trapped in that and aren't passionate about it or don't love it. Or maybe it's okay, but you've found that you can impact people more directly this way?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yep, it's never too late. So
Good, cool. Has anybody talked to you about what happened on Monday? What have you heard about what Monday was like?
I saw the TikToks, which were really cool. I love those. You got pranked a little bit. But
show me the money.
I know the new product was rolled out, and I got my little package, so I got to look through it. It looks awesome. I'm very excited. I do need to be taught a little bit more about it, but it looks great.
So you got your packet? You got your, okay. Have you played with them at home yet, or did you just get it?
Nope.
You haven't tried it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
it's my first day, so.
Okay. Anything else that you heard about Monday? So I'm one of the themes of it is elevate 2025. So to have 2025 be the best year ever for everyone. So anybody in our family of people, whatever it takes to have this year be the breakthrough year. And it's going to be different for everybody. But one of the reasons why we did it that way, or why we had it be more individual than, hey, we're going to do this meeting on, a new hair color or a new application process or a new customer service experience. We had it be tailored. I wanted it to be whatever you need to be a retreat from life for a day where people can work on themselves and actually think through what's not working in my life, what's not working as well as I'd like it to, where would I like to be better, where would I like to have more, where would I like to, whether it's in the area of relationships or finance. I want to get out of debt. I want to be in a relationship. I want to get out of the relationship that I'm in. It's not working, and I keep tolerating bad guys, the wrong person in my life. I want to get the right person, or I want to make the relationship that I'm in better. I want to enhance I want to increase intimacy. I want to fall in love again, or just, I love the person I'm with, but we're so busy and we just don't have time for each other. I want to make time. So we have date night and we go on every quarter we go away for the weekend and we just get connected again because we're in such a busy world. So I want it to be more personal that way so that people can actually take the time to think through and not just have a list, because resolutions are the worst. I mean, resolutions, most people wait till the end of the year and then they say, all right, this year, I'm going to start this year great. And they have these grand plans. And by the end of January, most people have given up on whatever that resolution was anyway. So it's different than a resolution in that it's something that we get to work on together. So even though you weren't there, it's an opportunity for you to think about the areas that you'd like to have a breakthrough in, have more, less, whatever that is, that or something that maybe it might not even be something that's grand. It might just be like, all right, I want to have one floor day. I want to make X amount of dollars. I want to be able to have a digital retreat. That's one of the things that we did was we had everybody put their phones away for the day. So it was like a digital Sabbath where people were just like disconnected from life. Not from life, but just the connectivity to everybody. Just like it's such a habitual thing. I noticed like on some of the breaks that I wanted to, it's so natural to want to grab your phone and fill that space with something, like there's never any idle times. It was an opportunity for people to just be together without on the lunch break, everybody going to their phones and, seeing what's
enjoy
the
the
news.
moment you're in.
To be more present. And that's kind of one of my things that I'm working on for the year too, is in being present, being more present and being here now instead of, I have so much to do and I have to do this and always being in a rush. And
it's hard to turn that off.
No,
in your head.
it is. I know it. It's a go, it's, you go to the grocery store, you're going to check out, you got to find the shortest line. And then when you get to the shortest line, you got to pull your phone out and you got to use up that idle time. Like, did I miss anything? Is there anything in the world that I missed? And then you get out of the grocery store and you go home and you go to the stoplight and you got to pick the lane with the fewest cars in it because I got to catch up to everybody. And I noticed when I was going down to the meeting that morning, I was on Livingston Road and all the traffic was, I have the Tesla set to whatever the speed limit was, but all the traffic was like flying by me. And I felt like there was something wrong. Like maybe I should be going faster. Like, why aren't I going faster? And it was just natural for me to step on the gas and override it's not gas, it's electric, but step on the golf cart accelerator to go and, to catch up to everybody. Like, why? Like, what's the rush? Going the speed limit is okay. It's not such a bad thing. And, not trying to beat the yellow light all the time, just to be more here now and present. So,
and it's almost, that's like subconsciously what we do now. So it's weird. You have to take a step back to really put yourself in a mindset to be present almost, it should be the opposite way around almost.
Yeah.
But it just, the society we lived in, we're wired to be like, go, 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 go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got a million things to do.
Yeah.
So
it's like,
now it's like, okay, take a step back and get back to what matters.
Yeah. Because it was a completely different day for me being there that way and not being connected to that and not having this like we have to get all this done and we have to make this happen. And we have to make that happen. And as soon as there's a break, we got to catch up because it's a Monday. And there's always a lot of things that I like to
Yeah.
accomplish on a Monday. I'm not going to be able to get all that stuff done today because we're here. But actually just to be there in the presence of that day, and no different than being here right now. Like, oh gosh, I have so many things I have to do and so many things I'm behind on because I'm always behind. It always feels like behind. Like, gotta hurry up and do it. Yeah. So that's a big part of and that takes something like I actually have to digitally disconnect myself because it's just so automatic even if it were sitting right here, I'd be looking at it as if I needed to check it. So I have it behind me, but I know it's there. It's
Even in the
like,
back of my head, I'm like, my watch is on. I know a client's coming soon. I want to glance, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to.
Yeah. That's
But
the other thing.
now I'm like consciously like, I can't do that. Don't do it.
We even had to talk about that on Monday because it was like, all right, there's so many moms that are so connected to their kids that, and they have to be check in with them all the time like that. And we were talking about the digital detox for the day and if they could actually disconnect, but then they had the watch and could they set their life up so that, their kids knew that if they had an emergency, there was a way for them to contact somebody.
Yeah.
And if not, they had the watch because the watch is always like, it gives them the sense of peace knowing my kids are okay and all the rest of that. But they, moms nowadays, I think, have it really hard because before cell phones, if a mom went on a date with her husband, the father, they were on a date. The babysitter had to handle everything with the kid. Now, they're connected the whole time. Like they're out on a date and, the kids are like, where's the sugar pop, where's the licorice or I don't feel good and, or whatever it is. And the mom gets
They have such easy access.
Yeah,
no
they're
break.
fully all accessible all the time. And so
When I was in cosmetology school, actually, it was no phones. So it was from 8 a.m. to like 2:30. We got like a 15-minute break. And then our lunch, we were allowed to have our phones.
Yeah.
But that was a huge adjustment. For me.
Because that's in the last how many years? That
was 2 years ago that I went through that.
Yeah. So you're connected, and to not be connected, I'm sure that was something that.
And there were moms in my class, and they had to adjust with that too. That's, I can imagine that's scary. But
they just got to set it up differently. But because you're always and then you're always you get taken away, distracted immediately with, and sometimes it's ridiculous. My phone, I was tracking how many. Notifications I get, and on average, it's like 285 notifications a day, and 99% of that is nonsense. Like it's not important, and it could be done all in a batch, like at one point. But the phone is like, hey, guess what? We need this, or we need whatever it is, and I look at it as if it's an emergency. I can react to it, but it's never. So it's just, and that takes you out of the moment. Takes me out of the moment anyway. So But I also know that you are a boot camper. Right. So you're one of that was some of the things that people were working on or had committed to was on their health and well-being. It was an area of their life. So what do? You go to boot camp?
I do go to Burn Boot Camp.
Yeah.
And Lexi and Mackenzie do it too. And that's kind of a cool aspect too, because I'll see Lexi on her story. She'll put on Burn. I'm like, all right, I have to go. Lexi went. Like it almost like holds me accountable, even if we don't go to the same class. So I do that. And it definitely takes some, time management because it's at set times. I have to be here. So it's like, a lot to manage and make that happen. And it was hard to get into a routine, but I feel like now in the past month, I've really kind of settled into it. But I love having that aspect of my life too.
You've made it a priority. Like that there's nothing that's going to get in the way of that. Cause I know I got to go do that. It's part of my mental well-being. I know.
It really is. It has made such a difference.
Yeah.
For my mental health.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's what we talked about too, was, like having that accountability was the point of us doing it as a group too. So, everyone who's listening in our family here, have you followed through on what you said you were going to do? Have you taken any actions or steps, since Monday? Are you talking about it? Have you talked to your accountability partner, the people that were in your team and in your group? So for you, it was seeing a story.
Yeah.
That it was like, hey, there's my tickler that like, I gotta be, plus, that once you're there and you do it, how great it makes you feel. Like
the hardest part is getting there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then once you're there, you're like, oh, I'm so glad I'm here. And afterwards, you feel amazing. But getting there that's the hard part.
Yeah, but it's been
But-
great. I see the results of everybody who talks about, I mean, Mackenzie and Lexi and you, and how impactful it is on your lives, because it, not only the mental part, but obviously the physical part, you feel better, but it's a great community of people.
Yeah,
I see
it really
too, right?
is.
The people that go there.
And they're very much like how we are here, how you know, care about our lives outside of work and we talk about things like that. That's how they are too. Like they care about you outside of the gym too.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
really cool to have at both ends of that.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, I can see the events and the things that go on, and the that Lexi talks about, and the gym that I go to, it's the same. Well, actually, I met my wife at my gym, so I'm so grateful forever
Yeah.
for my gym, because it gave me the best gift of all of life. Yeah, and but I need it for my mental health. I have to have that, because I my head gets full of such nonsense sometimes, and sometimes the pain of the gym outweighs any noise
Yeah.
in my head. It's like
It
it
forces
pulls
you to
away.
pause,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And then afterwards, I can it helps me be more, rather than just listening to all the noise that's going on in my head, and just able to, it's like a daily emptying of all of what's up in my head.
And back to the
Yeah.
phones, like I put my watch on do not disturb, and like that is my time. Like
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so excited to have an hour away from my
Yeah,
phone.
yeah, that's
and
great.
I just
Yeah.
allow myself to have that.
Yeah.
So
That's a really great practice, because sometimes you could be in the middle of a workout and then get an interruption,
Yeah.
or you don't know what it is. You see a notification like, oh, could that be important?
yeah, you're
And then-
lifting weights, but you're like, what does that
Yeah,
say?
yeah.
So
I've
now I
done
just put it on do not disturb.
That's
and
good. That's
it's
a great practice. I like that. Keep you present in the workout too, and it's your time. Yeah. So those are a couple things that are happening, or things that we talked about. So if you want to, I want you to participate. So
Yeah.
I would like for you to. The way we started this, by the way, was I had everybody write their epitaph. You know what that is? It's what they'll say about somebody when it's like what you would put on somebody's tombstone.
Okay.
It's like the dash on a tombstone. Like, what was your life for? What were you about? What was your stand for? Like, what did you, what was your, but you got to write your own. So
Yeah.
but instead of somebody else writing
That's
it for you.
interesting to think about.
Yeah, I think it was a little uncomfortable for some people to write about themselves like that, to actually reflect on, what's good about them, or what they
Yeah.
want to be remembered for. And it took some work for some people, for a lot of people. But when they were actually writing them down and getting to what it was really neat to see, because you could say, well, that's really who that person is. I mean, I recognize that in them, and I see that person for that. But it was just having them get present to like what the good side of them is, because it's so easy for us to think about what's wrong with us and what we
Yeah.
want to fix and change and what we don't like about ourselves, and to actually work out what the good in us is.
Yeah.
I can actually hear Maria humming. We were asking about that, if we were going to be able, while we were talking here, to hear that. And I think it's awesome. It's probably not coming through on the mic, but I'm hearing it in my head. I hear this like little hum going on, and it's her. I was like, what is that?
Like
Oh, yeah.
it like soothes you.
Yeah,
Even like
yeah.
right now I caught that. I'm like, okay, wait, I'm okay. In the beginning I was a little nervous. And then I think that subconsciously was like calming me down.
Yes. I can't believe that even happened, because Zach and I were just talking about that. I was like, oh, if the door's open, we'll just let that be a part of it. Whatever it is, that's great. I don't even know what I was saying.
Very real, a real life.
Yeah, it is. It
environment.
is. It's totally like they do a sports show in a bar, and we're doing a healing. Maria's healing. We're doing a conversation about Elevate 2025. So, from the epitaph. But what made that interesting, and I didn't think about this till after, was also like, if whatever it is that you want to be known for, or that is really important to you in your life, when you think about your year and what is upcoming in your year, it kind of is it's a guide point for you to say, okay, is it in alignment with that?
Yeah.
It's easy for me to see, like, it's really important to me that people get to live a life they love, like live a great life, be happy with their lives every day, not just be waiting for someday, like to be happy now, like to be fully self-expressed and do what they love, which is why I love what we do, where people get to express themselves and be who they truly are, like passionate about hair, passionate about making a difference in people's lives. and giving people a space for that so that they can flourish and really enjoy getting up every day and enjoy coming here and enjoy impacting the lives of so many people, because we just never know, the impact that we have on somebody, and we get to make a direct impact on them, not only by making them look and feel good and helping their self-esteem, but the inside, the thing that we get to deliver, that level of love that is given by all of us when we're in this one space. You get 20 people together who all believe in the same thing, and they're spilling love all over people. And when they walk out of here, they don't even know what happened to them. They didn't even know they needed it, but once they get it, they realize, wow, that was awesome. I did need it, and the difference that it makes in them. So that everything else in life, I look at, okay, well, is this really in alignment with that? Does it make a difference with that? Or is it just being comfortable? Because sometimes it takes being uncomfortable to, having conversations with people that might be uncomfortable. So they're avoided. Like I have a conversation that I've got to have with somebody that I didn't realize was like some things I need to express and take care of with this person that I haven't, and I've been avoiding, and I've just been living like, oh, well, maybe it'll turn around, maybe it'll get better. But even just making that decision and taking the steps towards having that conversation has made me freer. Like I just, a lot of little things have come out of, I've been added to my list since Monday anyway, because I've been thinking about, all right, what have I been tolerating? What have I not been true about? What, things that I haven't taken time to have date night with my wife. I haven't taken time, we haven't taken a trip in a while. So we're going to go away this weekend, which wasn't planned originally. And she's always asking about that. Yeah.
It's interesting how something so small will spark like that. And it's like, oh, wait, and it makes you realize, so many things, but then you have the opportunity to act on it and do something.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, okay, so we're in this space of, all right, if I want to have this year be the best year, and I'm making a commitment to that and a promise to that, I've got to follow through. I've got to start seeing those things that are in my way that are not going to be in alignment with having the best year of my life. So if I want it to be that way, I got to do things that sometimes might not be the most comfortable. I might not always love, and meal prep, making sure I have the right food, making sure I'm eating well.
I'm working on that now. That is tricky. That's hard.
Yeah. Well, I know that if I don't eat well, I don't feel good about myself. And then I'm not good for anybody. Like, cause I'm just like self-doubt and just, you just don't feel good. I just like, I thought I was going to do good and I'm not. Now my pants are tight and now I'm back to the whole,
Even in the gym, if I go to the gym in the morning before I come here, like I just feel so much more positive, and I can feel myself radiating more positivity than I would on a day that I didn't go to the gym first.
Yeah.
Like it's just the same kind of concept.
Yeah, it gives you that. And then you also feel good because that's important to you, and you did it and you followed through. You did that self-care, which is one of the things we also were talking about, was taking care of yourself, doing what you need to do to be good. That was the whole point of the day, was you need to take care of you to take care of everybody else. That's why we wanted people to work on themselves. Like you got to do, if it's getting a pedicure, if it's going to the doctor, if it's getting a manicure, if it's getting a facial, getting a massage, going to the gym, you got to make that a priority. You can't be like putting that off,
It all trickles down.
100%. And then you're better when you're, like you said, when you work out and you're around people, you have that little extra. You go in the morning, huh? Yeah.
And I wasn't a morning person, but just with the schedule here, I found it's better when I go in the morning because it's done. And no matter how my day unfolds, like I don't have to worry about missing that. Like sometimes in the afternoon, it's like something comes up and it's like, I can't go to the gym today.
Yeah.
If I go in the morning, I'm sure it happens.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the
first thing
day,
you do.
I don't have to worry about making it. Yeah. Because then I'm mad I didn't make it. And so it's just better.
Yeah.
As much as it's hard for me to wake up and go to the gym in the morning.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But to keep that in my life, I had to make that adjustment, and it works.
Yeah, that's a great hack for people. So those of you that get too busy during the day and the workout always gets put to the side because there's always some crisis that's going to come up in life. There's always something else, and
your feet
it
hurt
pushes
by
you
the
away.
end of the day,
Yeah,
you
you're
just
tired.
don't feel like it.
Yeah. Somebody invites you out for a drink, or you got to get to the post office. You got to do something. There's always something that's going to get in the way, and having that be the first priority, that's a good hack for people. So there's what is there, a 6 a.m. class, 5 a.m., 7 a.m.?
There's all the times.
Yeah, it's plenty of time to
On
do
a
it.
day I know I can do the afternoon, I just love any my day like that. I will, but
Yeah.
I've been like 6:30 and 7:30 are my times.
Good. Oh, well, that's, to be going that full out at that early. God
Yeah.
bless you. Good for you. Yeah.
My pre-workout is my coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, whatever else there is, so be thinking about things in your life, areas of your life, your health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, whatever that is for you, your physical health and well-being, your financial health and well-being, and your relationships, whatever areas you want to choose, because I'm going to keep following up with everyone on this so that this year, because we made a promise, or I made a commitment that this is going to be the best year. So I have to make sure that people are in action about the things that they committed to. And if they're wavering on them, so they just don't live like a list or a resolution. So it lives like something real, that these little baby steps are what people are taking, like they committed to, like, all right, what are you going to do in a week? What are you going to do in a month? What are you going to do in 3 months? So it's not like if somebody wants to run a marathon, they're not going to start off running 26 miles. They're going to start, I'm going to walk first, and then I'm going to, then I'll run a mile, and then, little milestones. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Epitaph, what is your life for? And then what you'd like to work on for the year, and things that are, you may
Elevate my life.
notice.
Yeah.
What's that?
Feel like just like little things that'll elevate my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Incompletions, or things maybe you always wanted to take a trip, or maybe you always wanted to, there's a car you want to buy, or you want to get out of debt, or you want to move somewhere, whatever it is. So be thinking about that, and I'm going to follow up with you on
okay.
what's next.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
All right. Thanks for
Right.
the impromptu
Yeah, this was
dive, deep
Thanks.
dive. Okay. Thank you. See, that works.